Alright there, ladies and gentlemen, John Suitepee here, and it is finally time to go back to the realm of Baldur's Gate. The votes have been cast, the comments have been made, and now our journey begins anew, as the PlayStation memory card loads. Once again, Blockhouse Studios presents to us a licensed product from Wizards of the Coast, and this time around licensed by Hasbro. The teleportation gate and some familiar characters.
Welcome, my friends. Your presence means I can count Eldrith dead. I am Modok Salanmir, and you've been such a boon to my allies, who will be overjoyed to learn that they can begin rebuilding the Onyx Tower for their own. Now, it's only fitting that I offer you the hospitality of my keep in reward. I'm sure you'll find its dungeons to your liking. Seize them.
Oh boy. It looks like there is a new Dark Alliance. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, the sequel. Numero 2. And it appears that the heroes of the last game, including the elven sorceress I played as, have been kidnapped by a new villain, and they plan to rebuild the same Onyx Tower of decay and chaos that Eldrith used previously. But where did this new Dark Alliance come from, and what does it mean for the city of Baldur's Gate? It's time to find out. So we'll be playing one player, and like last time we'll be playing on the normal difficulty. And your votes now count. You've been voting in the comments for a week. I've had various reasons, various different characters have been picked. Well, except for the monk. Nobody liked the monk, apparently. Poor monk. Gets no love. So, the barbarian here got a single vote. The rogue here got a single vote. The human cleric is second with 3 votes. But the winner by a clear mile that everybody wanted to see was the new Moon Elf Necromancer. And I'm willing to bet, and even said in one comment, that it was because I played as a sorceress last time around. It'd be interesting to see how I handle a Necromancer this time around. I'm going to put in the annotations a little bit of the backstory of the Moon Elf Necromancer, but otherwise it's time to play.
Centuries of conquest and scattered settlements have done nothing to tame the monster-filled reaches of the Western Heartlands. Perhaps it is for this reason that the realm welcomes ambitious adventurers, and Baldur's Gate, its greatest city, calls to them like a siren luring mariners to their doom. Why do they heed the city's song, these brave and wandering souls? Some for the greater good, others for wealth, for power, for glory. Some do not know why themselves. This is such an adventurer's tale. Rumors abound of a dark alliance gathering against Baldur's Gate, of the hateful spirit of Eldrith the Betrayer, of a black tower of onyx in which she seethes and plots. Adventurers flock to the Western Heartlands to forge their destinies in the fire of battle. Even now, some make their way down the Tradeway, moving southwards towards Baldur's Gate. Fortune favors the bold, adventurer. Do not falter.
Okay, so we're going to start off with the Tradeway. And yes, you can play with the fire on the loading screens just like the original. Before anyone mentions that this time, I know. And here we are. This is us, the Moon Elf Necromancer. Now, I've actually played past the first area of this game, so unlike the first game, I am going to be playing this pretty much blind. I don't know anything about this game whatsoever, but what I have played in the first 10 minutes or so indicates that basically it's going to be mostly the same controls as the last game, with a few tweaks made to make the game play a little bit more better. But other than that, I don't foresee any control problems in the future. You basically move around with the left analog stick, the right analog stick can now zoom in a little bit. You can pop it out, still rotates the camera. You press R1 to block. Since we don't really have a shield, we'll be using the book. Triangle to jump. X to it. Really? Wow, that attack looks so stupid. X to attack. Circle to use spells. But there's a bit of a difference with that this time around. And L2 and R2 to use mana and health potions. Now, like before, you can... Let's see what skills we get. We'll start off with a life drain and a shield. Which is nice. It'll give us 10% absorption. And we can also life drain, which seems to be a constant thing. Now, this shield, I guess we have to recast. Now, the difference between... One difference already that you can notice if you experiment quick enough is that you can actually assign buttons to hotkeys, unlike the last game. So what you do is you go through the menu as normal, but if you hold down L1, you can basically assign 4 different control slots to different attacks. So let's see. I would say shield to circle and life drain to X. Now, instead of just pressing circle or having to go through this awkward navigation, you can basically just press L1, circle, off you go. No more awkward menu navigation, and a fantastic touch. One which took me a few minutes to get the hang of, but it's there. So it seems that our... Oh god, this looks bad. So let's see what's up with this wounded caravan guard.
I thought that would be my last fight. I'm Kaira, a caravan guard.
Oh dear, trouble already. Are you wounded badly?
Not terribly, no. But I'm grateful for your concern. We were ambushed by the Red Fang Marauders. They took some of us away.
You are the Red Fang Marauders.
Please, just lend an ear. Some of the Marauders took prisoners into the Trollbark Forest, southwest of here.
Okay.
But most of them continued southeast to Wayfork Village. They're going to raid it, or burn it. You must help, please.
But who are these Marauders?
Monsters, brigands, mostly goblin kind. They've been raiding around Baldur's Gate for months. The city's soldiers can't find where a lot of them hole up.
I see.
So, will you help?
Yeah, I'll help, sure, Kira.
Then continue down the road until you see a path leading into the trees. It eventually leads into the Trollbark Forest. I'll meet you later in Wayfork Village. Farewell.
Alright, thank you, Kira. And something I've just noticed, I think... Although I'm not 100% sure, she might be the same Kira that was in the Baldur's Gate Tavern in the first game. But I only just noticed that now, literally. So we're going to save here. As you'll probably notice, I do already have a save file. I played with the Cleric, funnily enough. I only got past the first area and then stopped. Basically just did that to make sure there weren't any massive control adjustments I had to make. You know, worst thing you can do in a Let's Play is to play the game and not know the controls so much. You know, like, the difference between playing blind and knowing what you're doing and playing blind and not knowing what you're doing. So we have our usual slots. We'll go more into the skill points towards the end. Just trying to... Ah, crap. Oh, yeah. Whoops. It's, Oh yes, and I think they've slightly changed the position of the map. You basically press left and right now to trigger it instead of just the usual L1, because L1 is now used for the quick commands. Which is something I had to get used to. But other than that, this is Baldur's Gate, you kill shit. So again, we'll just cast the nice simple spell. So we've got a basic dagger, and we'll be fighting some goblins, various scumbags of the earth. So let's test out our new life drain ability. Also gets an AoE effect, that's pretty nice. Pretty handy, has to be said. So, yeah, I literally do not know a single thing about this game, other than it's supposedly massively improved from the first. Graphic-wise, it looks very similar. I mean, this only came out a year or so after the first. Graphics look extremely similar. You know, kind of not dated the best, but they don't terrible by any means. I'm going to zoom the camera in, but I'm going to keep it stretched out for the sake of this. Looks like we have a wounded caravan here. Pesky goblins. Taking away all these poor folk who are innocent. Oh god, that fire is nearly killing me. That's really bad. Need to remember to... I'll have to get used to this quick casting system, but I'm sure it'll become second nature in time. Maybe it's not AoE. Perhaps I was wrong. Perhaps you have to actually target somebody. Ah, there we go. Yeah, you do have to target someone. My bad, I thought you actually had to just AoE, but it just seems to work. It seems like a bit of a gradual thing, but there you go. And we've leveled up already. Kill a few goblins, level up. So, this is the level up screen. Now, I've learnt from last time not to immediately start putting points in things, because the points build up per level. Like level 1 you get 1 point, level 2 you get 2, and so on and so forth. So I'm not actually going to put any points on anything yet. I'm going to let you decide what I should spec towards this time around. It will be entirely up to you. So at the end of this, I'm probably going to be getting on sort of halfway to level 2, and then you can make a decision at the end. But basically we'll come to that at the very end. I'll sort of go through all the skills, and you can make a decision for next time. So for now, we're going to have to stick with just our shield and life drain ability. And I can see one ability that's already been pointed out and mentioned quite proficiently is the haste, which I believe is quite a useful skill for the old Necromancer, according to one of the persons in the comments. Haste is usually a good thing for any character in any game to have, so it's a good sign. You also probably have noticed that the start of the game didn't start off with an in-game cutscene, but instead chucked us straight into CGI world and then immediately led us to the tradeway. So we're actually heading towards Baldur's Gate from the north. So I guess we don't even start in Baldur's Gate, we have to get there first. This leads me to believe we may be having to fight enemies inside Baldur's Gate this time around. Equip this new armor. Oh, we can't even use it because we need higher armor proficiency, which is a bit of a difference this time around, I believe. I believe there's a lot more focus on armor and weapon types in this game. So, for example, certain classes can't equip heavy gear. It wasn't the first game, but I think there's a bit more focus on it this time around. In general, and it's nice to know that rings are still barely visible. You can put up a shoddy ring, which I don't even think does anything. No, it doesn't even give any power-ups, so whatever. And it seems our main strength is going to be intelligence and dexterity in the early going. So we're pretty much going to be relying on, well, casting a lot of spells, I guess. I can only imagine as a Necromancer as well, we'll probably be raising the dead at some point and maybe using them as our allies. The typical visage of a Necromancer is killing people, resurrecting the dead, and then using them to kill other things to make them dead so you can then resurrect them yourself. But I don't really know. For all I know, we could just be casting horrible corruption spells. Who knows? I can't really tell if this game is going to be any more difficult than the first one, per se. My cleric trial character did have a couple of problems, actually, and took quite a few hits. And actually had to heal a couple of times. This Necromancer seems to be having not so much the same problems at this moment, but I can't really tell at this early stage whether this game will be more difficult than the first one, sorry, I should say. Seems like we have to hold it down to make that work. So it's a bit of a small charge, so it's not like an instant pop life drain. But still, going to be useful to steal the life off enemies. Can't underestimate the usefulness of that. No, sorry, Bob. Oh, damn trees in the way there. So what do you think's going to happen this time around then? We've kind of already been introduced to the main villain, whose name I admittingly have already forgotten, but I can always look back in the instruction book. Got this game second hand from Amazon, because surprisingly enough, this game, full price, is actually on Amazon anyway. It's still like, pretty much like £35, more or less. It's still quite expensive, you get a fresh copy, which is a bit weird. Must be a very popular title. Usually those that sell well don't usually lower the prices. Or there might be other reasons, I don't really know. For certain. I don't get used to that map. It's actually left, just left only. It's been an awkward switch, but I'll get used to it. For the most part, the minimap's going to be in that corner anyway. Oh, the wheel's still turning. That's a nice little touch there. But what do you think the story will be this time? What do you think will be behind this Dark Alliance then? It seems to be some elf, looks like an elf sort of character, with some weird looking people to boot. I keep pressing star, I'm sorry. Looks like we'll upgrade to the shoddy. Oh. If it was the same damage, but it'll be longer reach. A Necromancer, not a staff? Ridiculous. But I wonder what the deal is. What kind of creatures do you think we'll encounter on the roads ahead? It seems like early on we're going to be encountering goblins, maybe a couple of orcs, maybe a troll. But who knows what lies ahead in the game. What do you reckon? Let me know your thoughts in the comments of what may lie ahead. Some of you have already played this game before and will probably be able to tell me, but try and keep it spoiler free. I mean, I kind of want to enjoy this as a blind experience, you know. How come I'm glowing purple? Odd. I'm glowing purple for some reason. Okay. Not quite sure why that happened. As soon as I cast a spell, it disappeared. I don't get that. We also can't equip this helmet because we haven't got the armor proficiency. Maybe we should think about getting some better armor, perhaps. The Cleric doesn't have this problem. She starts off with heavy armor right from the get-go. I personally would like to see the game be more difficult towards the end this time around. I mean, the final boss in Dark Alliance 1, Eldritch, was an absolute disappointment. You know, all the build-up was to this point. She's the great betrayer. She is the chosen evil one. Blah, 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 blah. And then it turns out that you can just kill with a few hits from this onyx sword. It's like you pretty much didn't have to bother with magic to kill her. You just basically outright defeated her straight off the bat. I'm going to quickly check out this area over here on the mini-map. It's only a small area, the trade way, but it's the beginning of a long adventure. So as always, it's always a good idea to accumulate as much XP. Oh, he's actually blocking there. That's kind of cool. He's actually blocking. Maybe the AI's received a bit of a tweak too. Who can say? We can't even equip the leather boots. That's just... Ooh. Man, we're pretty much going to be the glass cannon unless you decide otherwise, but maybe that's what you want. Perhaps you want me to go in there all glass cannon-like. This is just fine. I mean, the source was like that for large periods of time. But I want to see a bit more trickier bosses. I mean, Eldritch was a disappointment. I think the trickiest boss I can remember is the Dark Elf enemy in the second act. She was a real tricky one. I want to see more bosses like that, which present a challenge to the player throughout the game. So this is the second area, the Trollbark Forest. More dead travellers, and we got birds, apparently. So this is where we'll be continuing on from next time, once we have our skill set established. So now it's time to actually go through the skill set of the Necromancer. Let's see what he can actually learn. So we're going to go through the skill set here. We've already got, I think we have some points placed already. Yeah, there's 1 point in life drain, 1 point in shield, and that's it. Some other classes have different points already assigned to him, but there you go. So, at this point, this is pretty much going to set up the rest of the Let's Play. You decide what I should spec points in, and when, and how, and whatever build you want to see. So we're going to have Accuracy, which gives +2 to hit and +1 to damage. Basically improves the damage of ranged attacks if we get any of those. We've got Alchemical Lore, which allows me to change potions from one type to another, which could be interesting. If we have too many mana potions, we could swap them to health, and vice versa. We have, Animate Dead, and we can put a point in it immediately if we wanted to. Summon an ally. That could be useful. Then we have the Armor Proficiency. This will allow us to equip better armors. We have Chill Touch, which will give us a Chill Touch. Nothing more needs to be said to that. Then we have Clarity, which will reduce the mana cost over time, which could be useful in the long run. Then we have Contagion, which will apply poison damage over time. Got Dark Possession. Wow. Control humanoids and lesser undead creatures. Wow. That does sound interesting, I have to say. I'm curious about that one, but it's not up to me. Then we have Empower, which will increase the effectiveness of the various spells. Item Workshop. Cost to go down. I believe Enchanting is actually the other major addition to this game, in that there's basically you can enchant weapons and armor this time around. But I don't think we get access to that straight away, so we'll have to see that a bit later down the line. But I know you can enchant stuff in this game, which is also kind of a nice touch. I look forward to experimenting with that later. Then we have Endurance, which will pretty much give us more carrying weight. It was useful last time with the Sorceress, but maybe not useful this time. Then we got Innovation, which 3 to 9 damage per half second while bonus held. So basically sort of a damaging attack, death energy. Okay, can also affect additional enemies per rank, which is nice. Then we have Fear, make enemies run away, could be fun. Got Flame Arrow, which will summon a Flame Arrow, but it says Arrow, so maybe there's more. Looks like you can get more than one at later ranks, but I imagine it will probably just be sort of similar to the spread shot of the Archer. Ghoul Touch, paralyze a foe, does poison damage. Great Fortitude, which will give us more HP regen. Hand Weapon Focus, gives us more ability to fight with one-handed weapons. Could be useful, considering that a lot of combat in Dark Alliance 1 was all about melee, but that might not be the case in the sequel, we don't know. Haste, the one that was mentioned, 6% increase, 8 seconds, increased speed. Could be very useful. I imagine it will probably go up to about 30% at max. Then we have Hold, which can stun creatures in front of me. We've got Iron Will, which will increase our magic energy regeneration rate. We got Life Drain, which we've already seen. This will make the Life Drain stronger if we so wish. We've got the Long Weapon Focus, which is similar to the Hand Weapon Focus, but as you can see, it's a different weapon type. So they do seem to be caring more for specific weapon focuses in this game. We've got Melf's Acid Arrow, which we know what that does from last time. Acid Arrow. The Rave Enfeeblement, which will debuff an enemy. We got Shield. If we want to increase the Shield Absorption Armor class, we can have that. Got Shocking Grasp, which will be, well, Shocking Grasp obviously. We can even slow down enemies for 10 seconds. That could be useful in some circumstances, perhaps. Then we have Sprint, which will give us a brief burst of speed. I guess similar to Haste, but just in running speed only, whereas Haste improves overall speed. We go on Vampiric Touch. Touch attack, which will steal life. I guess similar to Life Drain, but perhaps a bit more constant. And finally, Willpower, which will give us more energy points. Well, mana points, it's called energy in this game. So those are all your skill options to pick. And interestingly enough, most of them don't cost that much in the early going. There's no like 32-point skill this time around. Everything is pretty much will probably be accessible within the next level or so. So kind of interesting that they've gone for that. So we've got a lot to choose from. A lot of skills and different paths we can take this Necromancer. What do you think will be a good choice? Should we go for a melee focus, an armor, and teach him like a frigging spell sword like last time with the sorcerers? Should we go for pure spells and just go absolutely crazy? Should we go for draining spells, summoning spells? Should we go for dark possession? Should we go for a bit of everything? Looks like we have a lot of choice. I don't even know what I want to pick from this. other than maybe haste, but I don't even know how. But again, we'll have to see. It's all up to you guys and girls though in the comments. This is where your input is absolutely critical. You are going to decide the future of this character, pretty much, and what will happen to him in the parts ahead. So this is the introduction out of the way. What are your thoughts on the sequel so far? Do you like what you see? Or do you not? And what direction would you like to take our Moon Elf Necromancer for the parts ahead? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will catch you all next time for part 2 of Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2. And we'll begin the journey proper. No more lengthy item and skill delays. See you next time, everybody. See you next time.